I'm recording now. So did anybody do these exercises, by the way? The second lighting exercise was trying to mimic a shot from Blade Runner 2049. And the other exercise was the Foley exercise, where you take a piece of footage, either from something you shot or from a movie, and you do your own sound effects to it. You take out the sound and you do your own sound effects on it. I think V, you sent me something, right? Utter silence.
She's looking for it.
Okay. All right. I'm going to check that out then. And I'll open it up. And then we can start with you if you'd like. One second. Oh, Vish, would you like to just share your screen and then you can show what you just emailed me? Vish? I don't know what's going on. Your audio's not coming through. All right, well. Let's see something. All right, so this is V, so I'm gonna share my screen. This is V's Foley exercise. Well, before we begin, V, what did you shoot your own stuff and then overlay it with sound effects, or how'd you do it?
Hello.
All right, so she said she shot and then she added, yeah, hello?
Yeah, hi, this is Vish here. Okay, yeah,
Hey,
we can
what's up,
go with
Vish?
we, and then, I sent it, you sent it to you through email.
Yeah, I just saw it. I was asking if you wanted to screen share.
No, I don't have, no, screen share, I don't know if you want to do that. I could do that, let me see.
Well, first we're gonna do V's, but while you figure that out, we'll
Yeah,
do V's and then we'll get to yours and then we'll look at ours.
sure.
So V said, yeah, she shot something and then she added Foley to it. She said Velcro to do the sound of the foil and then pounding to be behind balloons instead. So I don't know if it works. All right, let's see.
Don't say it like that.
Nice.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
The
let's go.
foil part did sound a little more like cardboard for some reason, though.
Which one?
The foil part sounded a little bit more like tearing cardboard. For me, I don't know
foil
why.
part? Let me see. What did you say you used for the Velcro? Ah, that doesn't sound like cardboard to me.
No, the first day and the last day sounded a little bit when I'm trying to cut cardboard and it doesn't cut, and it just has those layers.
what was used for the glove something? Velcro on the gloves already. Oh, cool.
Well, I hope you had fun doing it because that was one of the main things is just have fun with it and get creative, really.
Just to see how it is.
Oh, that's
to do.
cool.
But yeah, I like that. Yeah, she said it was balloons. Let me see. Balloons, Velcro to sound like the foil.
Guys, if I sound funny, it's because I got a blister on my tongue because I burned it and it really hurts. So sorry if I sound like a little silly.
All right, Vish, would you like to share yours?
Sure. Let me
All
share.
right, I'm gonna stop sharing mine. Hold on, let me mark saying that you can. Okay, it says you can share if you like.
Okay, let's see. Are you able to see?
Yep.
It says number 3, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna go full screen on this. Okay, here we go.
Nice. I really like the Mario jump.
Yeah, that was funny. And I got as soon as I saw the little shoulders, I was like, is this the Incredibles? Like, I got it.
Yes.
Okay, myself. Childhood still. Memory's still good.
Nice.
Yeah, I picked up.
Did you say that you did the what was the other thing? Oh, the lighting exercise?
Yes. That I did. I just took the pictures of some, lighting as such. I don't have it. Let me see if I can share it in my email that I sent it to you. Not this guy. Let's see. Get it to my email quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And can you see?
Yeah.
So this is something which the model was sitting on the window side, and the light is coming from this side, so you can actually see the light on this side, but the reflection is coming on one of the sides. So just one-sided lighting. And then the next one I had is the similar one, kind of diffused light on one side.
Nice.
And there was no lighting on the left side, but it was only on the right side. Yeah. So those are the two things I did, just to mimic what we got on one of the pictures out there.
Okay. Because like this exercise is supposed to be trying to mimic the movie shots. Did you get the
Yeah.
email with it?
Yeah. So I think there's one of the shots where the lighting was on the I don't remember. It was coming from the right side, and the left side was kind of not lit.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to mimic that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And just random pictures.
I just wasn't sure which one you were mimicking. That's all.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't remember. But I saw one of the pictures. I think it was maybe like a close up of one of the shots that that you shared with us.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me, but that's what I meant.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Okay.
I was just wondering. That's all. Oh, yeah, cool. I like the pictures though.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. If you can stop sharing, I think.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any, or Priscilla, do you want to move on to Priscilla? Do you want to show yours? Ours?
The lighting first.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh crap. Just a second. Let me turn off the microwave. So again, disclaimer. It took me a while to realize we needed a bigger light. The light source we used was a little too small, and that's why we couldn't capture the entire face. And I tried to blur, like put a blue filter on it to make it look bluer because it was shooting on my iPhone, and I don't have a camera yet, people. And so the stupid phone was trying to overcorrect even after I turned off the auto adjust settings, which was really annoying. And so I'm just trying to keep that in
And I was
mind.
trying to overdo the exposure too.
Yes, it was pissing me off so much because I had gotten it perfect, and then the camera would just brighten it up, and it really made me mad. And the darker I got, the blurrier the image got, and the more grainy the image got. So
You want
I
to show it?
couldn't put it too dark. Yeah. All right. You guys, I'm a perfectionist, and so when I don't get it right, it just makes me a little frustrated. But yeah, so this is the original image right there, and this is what I was able to do. So it was very hard to get exactly his position right. I should have gotten in closer, but the closer I got, the brighter it got. And so I needed to do it somewhat far away, which was really annoying. Also, like I said, if it was a wider light, it would have covered more instead of just that. And maybe I would have been able to adjust it a bit. But because it was short, I wasn't able to. And also he has a mustache, which helps with shadow. And all of these bruises also help deflect the light a little bit. And there's lights in the background and stuff. So it didn't look exactly how I wanted it to, but I think the color itself could have been a little more blue. I just couldn't get the exact tone, and it really frustrated me. But
Yeah, I tried using one of my old camcorders, and we got it right, but it was just so it's not good in low light, so it was awful looking.
Yeah, it was really grainy. So sorry, guys. I'm getting better at it though. At like figuring out where the light is as far as the face. That's the hard part for me when I'm trying to like somewhat recreate, is like, okay, where is the light hitting? That's really hard to figure out, because it's like, okay, it's not looking the same, and it's a lot of trial and error. And then once you figure it out, it's after you already put everything away and you're looking at both cameras and at both pictures, and you're like, darn it. I feel like if I had, for example, like I'm saving it per tablet, if I had a tablet and I put Coda's face next to the thing, to the picture on the tablet, and was constantly adjusting, it would have been better. It would have been easier for me to compare, but because I didn't have that, it wasn't perfect. So yeah, this is the best I could do for now, but I think I'm getting better, and I just know that I'm so stubborn that at some point in the future, once I get better, I'm probably going to reattempt all of these. So yeah.
I mean, that's cool though. Let's try to get like more accurate with it.
Yeah. I also tried to like use the little lights. We didn't have many, but like since there were lights in the background, I tried somewhat to recreate that, but I couldn't get the positioning right either because we didn't have little lights that we could use in the background. So I was just trying to like find a source where there was a light bleeding through, but still keep his body slightly to the right, you know, of the screen. So yeah. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, it was pretty close. I think that, yeah, the light, we should have changed the light, made it a bigger light, but I don't have the ones that connect the, well, your phone was constantly changing it anyway, the color of
Yeah.
it, which if
The light. Oh, so the
if
light
it
was
hadn't changed the
directly-
color and made it more like light, we wouldn't have had to expose it. We wouldn't have had to lower the exposure and the edit and the post-production, and then that would have made it a little brighter on his face.
Yeah,
I
no,
think.
definitely. Like
Yeah.
I had gotten the light exactly how I wanted it, and then my phone automatically brightened it, and it was so frustrating. But so the light was directly above his head, and it was bent somewhat because from what I noticed in the image, there was, because of the sweat and stuff, there was a light glistening off of his forehead, and that was brighter than everything else. So I noticed, okay, it's coming from above, but it's also wide. And that's what I only thought of later was like, oh crap, it's a wide image because it's a huge
Light source.
billboard, so it should have been wider, and that's where I got it wrong. And we used we used two blue gels actually. We used one that like attached to the camera to the light, but that one was looking too green, so we used an actual like paper type gel on top of it, and I had to like angle the camera just right so it wouldn't appear on the camera, because you could kind of see it in some shots, and I was like, darn it. And there's some really good shots too that I had to end up scrapping because you could see the filter through it sticking out, because the filter was wider than the light we were using.
Did you do any post color grading?
Yeah,
afterwards?
I blurred
Yeah,
it.
but just like the basic thing that comes with the phone, really.
I was going to grain it more, and I was going to go into like some of my editing apps, but I was afraid of degrading the quality because it was in low light, and because I had already put a blue filter on it, and I had already lowered the exposure and lowered the contrast and messed with the darkness, with the shadow. And so I was like, I'm doing a lot in post and I'm afraid of degrading it. So I didn't end up doing the grain, but
So-
now I'm kind of regretting it because I might have changed it.
I think that's where you're not where your difficulties were coming from, because you were saying some stuff like the closer you got, the brighter it got,
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So it's learning the differences between, because you're trying to recreate a shot that was done, but you don't know what they did as far as like, they might not even have used a gel in that shot. That might be all color grade, or post stuff. So it's finding.
No, I told that for sure to Coda because like the lights were moving a lot.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on in post that people really don't recollect, and they think it's all done in that. So trying to recreate a shot is kind of, it can be challenging because you don't necessarily know what process they took to get that specific look. So you were trying to make it look exactly like that, which can get kind of hard because you don't know, like you're trying to use gels. Maybe they didn't use gels at all. Maybe they just use all of post-production to get that type of look.
Yeah, so the purpose of the exercise was more just so we could like play around with light and try to mimic how the light hits the face and the colors and stuff like that. So it's just more of a fun exercise. It wasn't supposed to be perfect, but I'm very stubborn and I'm very much a perfectionist. So it was I went a little too intensely.
She was
into
getting
it.
super frustrated, everybody.
I was not like that, but it was. Oh, shut up, Brandon. No, but I think I got the main thing I wanted was to get the color right, and it was either two shades too bright or 2 shades too dark, every single time. And that was the biggest frustration for me. And
That was
because
just because of the phone, though. The phone kept auto adjusting everything even after you clicked
yeah,
not to auto
and in the
adjust. I
darker
don't know
and the
what's
darker
going
it
on with
was,
the
the
phone, but I
actual
would
light.
not. It was annoying. You need one of
Yeah.
those apps. You need one of those apps that like you can better change the settings on.
No, yeah, definitely. But I should have probably done more research into that. That was my biggest mistake that I was kind of annoyed with myself of. It's like, oh, I should have researched and gotten a third-party app to do it. Because the darker I put the light to try to get the color exact, the grainier it got because of night mode and all this other stuff. So that was really annoying. But yeah, I feel like for the most part, we did a pretty good job. It's not Priscilla level of perfection, but it's pretty good, I think.
Well, it was never going to look exactly like the movie that had a multi-million-dollar budget.
Yeah, like I said, I just wanted to get the color right. That was like my main goal, since I knew it wasn't going to look exactly like it.
Like I said, I think like I said, that would have been easier to do if we had a app on your phone that was more for taking pictures, because then you can change the white balance was the only thing that affects. White balance it to orange, and then it'll have everything be blue. So yeah. But anyway, I think we did pretty good with that. All right, now we have our Foley work, and for our Foley work, we took that scene from the kitchen. Well, just part of it from the kitchen in the Jurassic Park scene. After the meeting, we'll show. After the meeting, by the way, we're going to show it with the music, because just to show like how much the music enhances us.
It makes such a huge difference. You have no idea. And from the original, if you guys actually go and listen to the original clip, the Foley wasn't the best in the original clip either. Like, we were getting frustrated that it wasn't good enough. And then we listened to the original and we're like, you know what? I mean, ours isn't great, but theirs was not exactly the best either. So that makes us feel a little bit better.
I think we did pretty good. And the only thing I think that we needed to do better on was the dinosaurs, but we didn't have access to like sound effects libraries that have different animals and stuff. So the only animals I could find were crap, and we didn't end up using them.
Coda ended up making the voice for the dinosaur, which was, we had a lot of fun with it. Coda had more fun than he should have.
Let's listen to it.
Yeah, but just remember that the music makes a huge difference. Like, after we show you guys the music, it's like, whoa.
Yeah. All right. Well, can everybody see it? I'm gonna actually move these over here. All right. That was ours. What does everyone say? Honest opinions.
We'll show you guys the original.
And I wanted the footsteps to be louder, but it was clipping. So like, man,
which was so annoying because I was monitoring the sound right, and I made sure that it wasn't clipping. But apparently, when we put them together,
it wasn't. No, I'm saying it was clipping in the editing software.
Yeah. So that was frustrating. The sound of the pans too, we had gotten so many good ones, but them putting together with the footsteps is clipping for some annoying reason, and that was really frustrating as well.
No, it's just when you add, Priscilla, it's when you add different sound effects together in the edit, it makes everything loud.
No, I know.
The more sounds you add, the louder everything is, and then it starts to clip. That's why.
I know, but I'm just saying that next time I'll take that into consideration. We also had recorded.
Well, okay. Like I was saying, that's sound mixing to get the mix right. The Foley is just recording each sound how we did.
Fine. Continuing. We had done quite a lot, actually. We recorded the sounds of their clothes moving, again, skin, both pants and shirt, and we did it for both the boy and the girl. we recorded the different walking and the different crawling, both for the boy and the girl, and we counted each step. We had so what we used was basically we didn't our neighbors are super loud. The walls are super thin and so are the floors. So what we did was we took our 2 computer chairs and we put a sound blanket over it, and we put the mic super low, and we used a cutting board, a notebook, like a hardcover notebook, and 2 coasters, along with a nail pick and a nail filer, like a metal nail pick and filer for the nail thing. And Coda was on his, like, he did the hand ones with all 3 of them. And then he did the footsteps with all 3 of them, but then it didn't sound as good. So we took the lid of our toilet, the part where you have like the water filter and stuff, and he used that for the dinosaur. And he was basically like, we had this tiny bit of room, so he was on his knees, like on his hands, and like lifting his feet up and down the entire time.
Oh yeah, it was super uncomfortable. I wish we had like an actual Foley place to do it, but
Yeah, it was.
but
it was
yeah, what I noticed when I was editing it was, you know, just like we've learned in talking about Foley, is like sometimes if you have too many sounds going on at once, it just takes away from the whole thing. So I ended up taking away, like I had the sniffing going on throughout the whole thing at first. Like we recorded it for them to have sniffing throughout. And then it was just like messing too much with the other stuff, like the hissing and that. So I ended up taking out all the sniffing sounds except for the ones where it's focused on it. And then watching the actual scene again, I noticed that they didn't even have any footsteps in until they show their feet, which I thought was kind of interesting because they just left that alone.
the knees. He means like the crawling with the knees.
Hmm?
You mean the
Oh,
knees? Crawling.
no, they didn't have footsteps for the dinosaurs, or at least not loud, until they showed the feet of the dinosaur, and then they started having the sound for it.
And they also didn't have the sound for both dinosaurs as much. Like it sounded like it was just one, even though there were 2 in the thing.
Oh, V said it was sort of cut out. Was it cut out for everyone else?
When did it cut out?
No, I don't have any voiceover in there, Vish. The only thing I did for the Foley was with the dinosaur as well.
So we made the
sniffing was for the dinosaur as well, yeah. Which would fall under Foley because it's the sounds of that creature.
We made the sniffing. We made the Coda made the sniffing and gnarly and
I mean, I don't know, maybe not. I guess it depends if you have an actor for that or not. Because you know, like the dragon in The Hobbit 2 was actually, I think, Benedict Cumberbatch. So I guess if you have an actor for it, they are the ones who do those kinds of sounds for it. I'm not sure. I guess that would be like depending on per production, which umbrella it would fall under.
Yeah, the steps were all added. Like we said, we recorded him like taking all the steps on various different surfaces. We didn't have a tile and we didn't have concrete floor. Well, we do, but it's underneath this layer of whatever. So
if we had that tile, we would have walked on tile, but we used a cutting board and some cup holders that were like kind of they had a little bit of that like a hard plastic part where the cup goes. And so we used that, and then we used the cutting board, and we used the lid to the toilet tank, whatever you call that thing.
And we used a notebook as well.
I don't know. I think it was super fun. Like it was, it felt kind of like I see why it's a job, because it does start to get a little tedious, but I did like doing it because it's I don't know. It's
And it
interesting
is
to see
hard.
what you
It's
can turn
hard.
into what. The only thing I
Except
wish I
for-
knew more about was, which I want to start practicing it more, is editing sound in post-production. Like for the footsteps, I added some bass to it. And for the sound of the hissing and all that, I added a little bit of, I upped the pitch a little bit, but I don't know too much about what everything would do. And it would take me a lot longer to practice with it all, but that is something I want to do so I can get better at making it sound the way I picture it in my head.
Yeah, it is super hard to figure out, what noises would work for what, and then be able to like we said, people who work with Foley, they have entire rooms or floors, different equipment and stuff. So we tried to do our best with stuff we had at home, and we didn't even have a bathroom on the tile floor, and that was annoying because it's man, if we had that, it could have sounded different.
Oh yeah, for the timing, I had the scene playing on Priscilla's phone. I'd screen captured it on my computer, and then I sent it to email to her. And then we looked at it through the phone, and we watched it over and over again for each different sound we were making.
And the dishes, we also took a bunch of our cake pans and pots and just smashed them together.
But yeah, after the meeting, I want to watch it with the music, and then I want to watch the real scene just to see what you guys think. I can't watch it now because I'll get a copyright on the video, but.
Did you guys make a list of what sounds that you wanted to get? Watching it over and saying,
yeah,
I need to get footsteps here. I need to get, a claw foot sound effect here or whatnot. Did you guys go through that process?
I didn't spot it like that, but we did we came up with what we would need, and then I just watched it while we were making the sounds. Instead of spotting it like you're talking about, where we're seeing where we need it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think that could have been pretty helpful.
Yeah,
as
definitely.
far as because a lot of this sounds is done in of course you guys went over the Foley studio and stuff like that, but a lot of it I did notice it was kind of there were sound effects there, but they didn't actually match the room, and then there could have been effects that could have been added towards it in post. You could have added a little bit of echo to make it sound you didn't have a tile floor, but you could have replicated that sound with the sound you already produced, because the sound you had was pretty clean. So it's easy to take a clean sound and then manipulate it to make it sound like it's in a metal room or something like that.
I suggested adding an echo. Coda said he wasn't able to because it was making.
No, I added reverb, but yeah, I don't, like I said, I need to mess around with it more. It was taking too much time for me to figure out. That's all it was. And so I was I can't, I'm just going to kick it out.
And that's where.
No, totally. I understand.
When
you edited in After Effects, correct?
Premiere Pro.
Premiere. Premiere. I said After Effects. Okay. So when I was in film school, they taught us, Final Cut, they taught us After Effects, they taught us Premiere, and then there's an audio class where they teach you Pro Tools, and then the other one is Fruity Loops or something like that. But I edited on Vegas, but the reason I edited Vegas is because they have it's a combined, it's an editing software mixed in with you can do a lot of editing, post-editing stuff in there as well, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You can just put the same filters you would put on for video. They have their own list of filters you can put on there for audio as well, but they have their own secondary studio just dedicated for audio, but I'm not necessarily sure. But yeah, that's a whole nother career field to look into, and I'm the same way. I don't want to go through that learning process again to learn everything.
I mean, I would learn it. I just didn't want to take the time to do it right. I was running out of time this time, is what I meant. I could take
Because
the
he
time
didn't
to learn
listen
it
to his
later
wife.
on, and I definitely want to like
I'll
mess
pay for
around
it.
with it to learn a little better. But I was just meaning like for this exercise, I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna be able to figure this out in time. So
Yeah. I mean, what you did wasn't bad. I was just,
no, yeah, definitely. I understand totally, and I did want to add like a little bit of echo or something to make it seem more big too. You know what I mean?
mhm.
This
So,
did you have the mic close by and adjust the levels? Yeah, so the mic was like really close to the ground, and then we were just adjusting the levels for each sound that we were doing. If it was like, you know, their clock moving, we upped the recording level, and if it was the dinosaurs walking or something, or the noises, then we would turn it down so it didn't clip in the
so
recording.
you can speak for yourself on the not making a list thing, because I actually did. And
No,
I
he
was
was talking about spotting whenever you like actually see where each sound should go.
No, yeah, and I told you, I was like, honey, let's count how many footsteps there are when we stop, where we're going.
Yeah, but we didn't do it for each sound.
I thought you were, because I told you to do it for that one. I assumed it's like we should do this. I assumed you were doing it with all of them.
No, but what I should have done is done the for the dinosaurs.
All
For
right,
each sound I was making for them, I
that's
should have
something I'll
like
mag
seen
extra about.
where I would put them. But
That's
yeah,
something
and
I'll
like
mention.
another thing is just like sometimes less is more anyway. So you don't want to get too many sounds in there at once anyway, because it starts to
Mhm.
get crowded and some things aren't even important. So
The reason why I asked about the list is because I've actually done this project before when I was in film school, and I had learned a technique where we edited a scene and then we presented it, but I learned how to manipulate people's voices. You know, I took a couple steps ahead and learned how to manipulate voices and stuff. So like I spent so much time doing that in the edit and playing around with that just to get a big laugh from everybody. And the teacher would, the teacher thought it was awesome. He was like, "Yeah, this is freaking awesome." She was like, "You're the only one that's ever like done that with this project." But he said, "You spent all that time learning how to do this effect, but you forgot certain things. It looks good, you edited good. That effect you put on the end was dope." And he said, "But after all of that, you forgot to put like ambient, you know what I mean,
right.
background and all that stuff was missing. It still worked. It still was cool, but he was like, it could be better, like if you." And I think, did you guys have ambient tone in this as well? I think that would have been pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Just room tone. I mean,
Room tone? Yeah.
I don't really know what kind of ambient sound you'd put in here, really, because it's like a shut down kitchen.
Shut down kitchen. A kitchen. You can hear refrigerators running or something. I
But
don't know.
I don't
But
know if the I don't know, maybe the refrigerator is supposed to be running in this.
well, yeah, the power went out in the movie, so I forget. But yeah.
Right.
But I
Yeah,
don't
so
know.
I'm not sure like if
Yeah,
it's
but
supposed to, because it's nobody's
yeah,
in here right now. So
that was a lesson that I learned way back then. He was like, you said you spent so much time. He said next time, make a list of stuff that's there because you did all that, but you forgot the ambient. But if you had a list, you would have just gone back to the list and said, "Oh, let me add this ambience to the end."
Yeah. I
Right.
feel
Yeah.
like for the
Yeah.
first time doing it, we did a pretty darn good job, honestly. And we learned quite a lot from it. Next time, we'll definitely consider more, have more things in mind, and do it a little less sloppily and a little more organized. But I feel like for our first time, it was pretty darn good, especially with the working conditions we had, because that was very interesting. Coda was like super uncomfortable and twisting around to get the movement right, because we had to do it inside the sound blanket, and the neighbors kept moving around, so we had to pause and start over, and just we had to figure out what sounded the most similar to what, because we couldn't get it exactly right. So I'm
Having a
pretty proud of
dedicated
how we
space
did.
for it definitely, I can see, definitely would help a lot in something like this if you were planning to do it a lot. having an area, even if it's an area in your house that you know that it's like quiet, it would definitely help if anyone's planning to do any of that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, that's everything. Just wanted to share some of our experience about it, and Priscilla make 100 excuses about it.
I'm not trying to make excuses for it. It's not my point. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Gotcha.
I'm just trying to explain that, like, there's what I would have done differently. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I think is everybody,
But it was
does
a fun
anybody else
learning.
have any of the stuff to share, or are we going to end the recording? Okay, so, actually, I just wanted to say that, so guys, next week is the last week of this semester, and we will be sending out these like fill in the blank forms like we did last semester for us to do, and we'll go over them on Monday together, so you guys can fill them out over the weekend, and then we'll go over them together on Monday and talk about the answers. And then Thursday will be the quiz and then talking about next semester. And Wednesday, next Wednesday, we will be watching the Disaster Artist because we weren't able to do it this week. We were too busy. So we'll be doing that next Wednesday instead.
Don't forget about the LCloud Awards. We're giving y'all monies. The
Oh
ones
yeah,
that just
that's gonna be on Thursday, December 16th as well.
yeah. And like, it's not the end, it's just the end of this semester. We'll return January something.
January something. January
I don't-
3rd.
There
Yeah.
you
All right,
go.
I'm gonna end the recording.